off-season process of evaluating, looking back over the 13 games. What were some of the biggest things that stood out, particularly obviously the past team? That's what really stood out when you looked at it.
Well, I think, for the most part, it just, a lot of it came down to guys making plays, and I felt like, and, to be candid with you, as we went through the season, we're going to hang our hat on what we do. We said that, I think in the fall, and we said that as the season went on. The thing that we've got to do a better job of, and we challenge the players and we challenge the coaches as well, we got to coach it better, number one. We got to find ways to put guys in better position. And then we got to coach the finish part of it, better than we have, and we'll do that. So it's a two-way street. We understand that. The coaches have got to coach it better. The players have got to play better. When you look at some of the breakdowns that we had, though, I told the guys today before we came out, it's one guy or two guys on any given play. So the level of consistency that we've got to play at has got to be, has got to heighten. We did some things well. We defended the run well. The big passes hurt us. And so I think the guys are eager. They were anxious to get out here and put some of the stuff that we've put into place. We haven't wholesale changed, but we have done a few things to help ourselves out, find ways to put our guys in a better position to finish on those plays.
Week to week, you'll always adjust for the opponent that you have.
We do.
But how much did you guys make bigger changes to what you're doing as that season went on last year?
We started, I think when we started to have struggles, I think your reaction sometimes as a coach is you want to make it right. You want to give your guys a chance to make plays. But what happens is when you start maybe implementing some things that you don't do, you may struggle in other areas, and that opens up Pandora's box a little bit, so to speak. So I think we got to stay consistent with what we do. We believe in what we do. The guys believe in what we do, and we just got to continue to put our guys in better position and find ways to put those guys in better position as we go through the season. Obviously, spring ball too.
How do you coach the finish?
How do you coach the finish?
Yeah.
Well, and I think when we evaluated, we looked at all of our deep balls, and here's an example for you. We do a study every year, and we look at how many fade balls we're throwing, right? Well, the last few years we've had, I don't know, it's been under 100 or so. This year I think it was like 144. So it's it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. And what I mean by that is offenses look at you, they can't run the football, so what's their option? Their option is the fade ball becomes their best viable option, right? The way that we play, that's what we know people are going to go after us. So when you get that, you got to bring that percentage down. This year was like 36%, I think, completion rate on the fades, which isn't good enough. There's been some years where they throw 100 fade balls and you may have 2 or 3 completions, right? And that varies. So you're seeing offenses that are willing to throw it up a lot more. So obviously when we looked at all those fades, you can start to see things that we got to do a better job of as far as the finish, and teaching the finish, whether it's seeing the shoulders thrown, going back into the ball. There's a lot of technical stuff that I don't want to get into, but those are the things that our guys got to do a better job.
Not just finishing the game, but finishing the play.
Finish the play,
snap.
That's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly right.
You guys lost 3 stars on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Juan, it's, I guess, how difficult it's going to be to not only replace Juan, but develop that rotation. You got a lot of guys, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got, again, we looked at our production, so we took the guys that produced at the highest level this year. Like 61% of those guys are gone. So 61% of our production is gone. 39% of our production is coming back in total. So what we got to do is we got to find those guys to come in, D-line, linebackers, DBs. We're young across the board, and my standard answer to people is we got a lot of talent in that room. We got some young guys that can play. We got some young D linemen that can play. But that doesn't mean anything right now. How fast can we develop them? How quickly can we put them in position? How quickly can they pick it up? And they understand the urgency. I think they understand the urgency where we're at right now.
I understand it's only been one day, but what's it been like having Coach Partridge around and working with that group?
I've always heard when I was down at FIU, and obviously him down there, whatever you hear about Charlie Partridge is, he's a good recruiter, right? Great recruiter. Charlie Partridge is an unbelievable football coach. He is a tremendous teacher. He brings great energy to those guys. There's a great focus to those guys. And for us, that's where it starts. Those guys when they walk on the field, they have to have a certain swagger to them. They have to have a certain confidence about them. And if they don't, you're going to have troubles, right? Defending the run, defending the pass. So he's a great teacher. He's a great motivator. He makes a great connection with the guys. And, he's taking that thing and rolling. So it's a great addition to our staff. Frees us up to maybe focus a little bit more time with individual, for me personally, with an individual position group, which I'm excited about.
Could Salim play the middle?
He's going to. He's going to have to. Yeah, he can. We'll move him at money. We'll move him at Mike with some injuries and some guys moving position, we'll get those guys in position, and they all really got to learn it, like we typically do.
What's the process like evaluating in the spring when you have those injuries and you're obviously missing some incoming freshmen that might contribute?
What's evaluating those guys?
Yeah, well, inviting what you have now with the injuries and with you kind of missing some guys who might be able to contribute when they do arrive.
I think with a lot of our guys right now in general, it's you're guessing a little bit. You're looking at them. We evaluate them during winter conditioning. You say, okay, we're going to set a depth chart based on their effort, what type of energy they're bringing, their attention to detail. But then as you go through spring ball, they'll start to separate themselves in terms of position and assignment, alignment, and all that. But there's a lot of question marks, across the board right now. We see a guy, man, he's really good in high school. He's a really good young player, but where's he going to be here another 15 or 14 practices?
Before we get to any other questions, we do have Quadri and Jeremiah here, and they're going to have to depart for class soon. So anybody who needs them, I would suggest you go over and start with them.
Last year, Pat made a point of praising Coleman.
Yeah.
How has he developed over the winter?
He's doing really good. Yeah, he's doing really good. He's young. He's going to
keep him at corner.
We are. Yeah, we're going to keep him at corner, and he's got to continue to develop and do the things that he's got to do at that position. But he shows all the skill set. He's got all the talent in terms of understanding what he's got to do, and then we got to continue to develop it.